How to add and administer a vaccination in CIIS. If you need assistance navigating our material, please reach out. In this video, you'll learn how to add and administer a vaccination in CIIS. First, navigate to CIIS.state.co.us. Log into the CIIS main application and select your provider/clinic. Remember to always verify your default provider/clinic before you begin to work in CIIS. If you have access to more than one provider and clinic, you can use the drop-down to select the provider and clinic in which you want to work. To search for a patient, you can either select the patient search link in the main header bar or select patients and then choose search in the left menu bar. You will be navigated to the patient search screen. Now let's search for a patient. Search for your patient using a combination of the first 3 letters of the first or last name and the date of birth. If you are struggling to find your patient, pause this video and select the patient search video link that appears in the top right-hand corner. To work with the patient's record, select the patient's name. A patient preview pop-up will appear. Verify that this is the correct patient, then select Cancel or the X in the top right corner. Now, you can select an action. You can either go directly to the patient's demographics screen by selecting the Demographics button, or select the drop-down arrow to navigate to the corresponding screen. You can also navigate to the patient's demographics screen by double-clicking on the gray area that appears when you hover over your patient's row. On the demographic screen, you can verify or enter the patient information, update the mailing and physical address for a patient, enter a source of health insurance, and add other demographic or disability details. All bold fields with a red asterisk are required. See the How to Enter Patient Demographic Information in CIIS video for more details. In this example, the physical address of my test patient, Alexa Test, has changed. As her information is no longer current, I am navigating to the Addresses section and updating her physical address. To save these changes, I am selecting the Update button in the top right corner. If the address validation window appears, you can select to keep the address entered or use the recommended address. I am selecting the Use Recommended Address button. If you are having trouble with address validation, see the Address Validation in CIIS job aid that is linked in the video description. Note: Vaccines for Children, VFC, and 317 providers only. If you are not a VFC or 317 provider, hover over the video progress bar to skip to the next chapter. The chapters can also be found in the video description. Before adding or administering any immunizations in CIIS, it's essential to conduct a vaccine stock eligibility screening for each patient. To ensure proper eligibility verification, follow these guidelines. For patients eligible for a VFC vaccine, select the appropriate VFC eligibility category from the Patient-Level Eligibility drop-down menu. For those eligible for the 317 program, choose the 317 Adult Uninsured, LPHA, FQHC, RHC, IHS, eligibility category from the drop-down menu. Once you've confirmed that the patient's eligibility status is accurate on the patient demographic screen, select the Update button to save your changes. Now you can navigate to the Immunizations module by selecting Immunizations from the left menu bar. From here, you can add and administer immunizations to your patient's record within CIIS. Adding new immunizations to CIIS is a 2-step process. First, you must add vaccines into the system. Second, you must administer the vaccines. To officially record an immunization as being administered in CIIS, you must complete both steps of this process. To begin this process, from the Immunizations home screen, select the Select Action button and choose Add Vaccines. Verify your clinic. If you need to change your clinic, you must return to the CIIS home screen to select the correct provider/clinic. Enter a vaccination date. The system will automatically populate the age field based on the date you enter. Select the clinic staff member who prescribed the vaccines for the patient in the Prescribed By drop-down menu. Note: when navigating to this screen, a list of vaccines may appear based on what is recommended at the time of the visit. If you would like to remove these vaccines, select the Clear Vaccines button. If the vaccine you're searching for isn't listed or available in the drop-down list, select the Display All Vaccines button for a full list of vaccine options. From the Vaccine drop-down menu, select the vaccines you want to administer to the patient. Check the on-hand icon. If the icon shows a green check mark, this vaccine is in the clinic's on-hand inventory. If the on-hand icon shows a red X, don't proceed. This vaccine is out of stock and can't be administered. Note: if the vaccine is out of stock, please check your inventory. For other issues, such as expired vaccines or reconciliation issues, contact the VOM Help Desk at cdphe_VOM@state.co.us. Choose the Select VIS button. Select the Vaccine Information Statement, VIS, that was given to the patient. Select the Save Changes button. Note: once you have selected a VIS, the icon next to the Select VIS button will change to a check mark. Please note, you must select a VIS for every vaccine being administered to the patient. If you don't see the publication date of the VIS you gave to the patient, then select the checkbox stating, "The VIS given is not in the list above." Choose the Save Changes button. Note: for vaccines that don't have a VIS linked in CIIS, you will see a message that states, "There are no VIS associated with this vaccine." Select the checkbox and choose the Save Changes button. If you encounter this message incorrectly, please contact the CIIS Help Desk at cdphe.ciis@state.co.us. Select the Create and Administer button, and you'll be navigated to the Administer Immunizations screen. Select the clinic staff member who administered the vaccines from the Administered By drop-down menu. Select the specific vaccine administered from the following drop-down menu: manufacturer, lot, expiration date, funding source, inventory location, national drug code, also known as NDC, and brand. Be sure the vaccine you select matches the vaccine administered to the patient, for example, manufacturer, lot number, expiration date, NDC, and brand. Please note that the system will automatically populate the route and dosage fields. Ensure the route of administration and dosage are correct. The route of administration can be changed by selecting the drop-down and selecting an alternate route. The dosage can be changed by entering a new dosage in the dosage field. Select the body site where the vaccine was administered. Select the Did Not Admin checkbox if the vaccine wasn't administered, or if the appropriate manufacturer, lot information for the vaccine doesn't appear in the list. The vaccine will be saved as added but not as administered. To see vaccines that have been added but not administered for your provider/clinic, see the Running the Vaccines Added but Not Administered report, job aid in the video description. To remove the vaccine from the patient's record, select the Delete checkbox. Note: if the funding source of the vaccine doesn't match the patient-level eligibility, see the Borrowing Vaccine from Different Funding Sources job aid that is linked in the video description. Select Update to save this vaccination to the patient's record. This immunization has now been added to the patient's record. How to correct a vaccination that was added but not administered. The syringe icon next to a vaccine means the vaccine has been added but has not been administered. Note: immunizations will be automatically deleted 35 days after the immunization date if they have not been administered. Navigate to the immunizations home screen. Please note, the following warning message will display. Select the X in the top right corner to close this message. If the vaccine was confirmed as given and needs to be administered in CIIS, proceed to the Select Action button and select Administer Vaccines. Confirm you selected the correct vaccine by checking the vaccine field. Enter the necessary information in the bolded fields, then select the Update button to save the vaccination to the patient's record. Note: make sure the Did Not Admin and Delete checkboxes are deselected. If you did not administer the vaccine, select the Delete button to remove it from the patient's record. If you have questions, please contact the CIIS Help Desk at cdphe.ciis@state.co.us. Thank you.